Let me come with royal.
Don't expect anything less than the number one rated Caribbean show. Caribbean vibration. Caribbean vibration. Caribbean vibration.
Okay, you're watching Caribbean Vibrations, and it's my pleasure to say we're here with Miss Hedy Fry, MP, who wanted to go for Kim Campbell. People don't know about that, but we like her better because she's from Trinidad. So we talked a little bit about your growing up in Trinidad. So tell us about, growing up in Trinidad.
Growing up in Trinidad was great. I mean, I remember it as being a time for me when the world was my oyster. I was lucky enough to have a father that believed that his daughter could be anything she wanted to be and encouraged me, albeit the fact that my father was a tailor, my mother was a receptionist, and they both had a grade 8 education. They also told me a very important thing, that's something that has actually fed everything I did, and that is that education is a ticket. So they spent a lot of time. I went to government school, primary school, I went to St. Joseph's Convent for high school, and I won a scholarship to go to Oxford to do my master's in English literature. It was a scholarship from the Trinidad government. And in researching the scholarship, I actually found out that there was an Oxford professor who had psychoanalyzed Hamlet as being bipolar and Lady Macbeth as being obsessive-compulsive and Macbeth as being passive-aggressive. And so I decided that I wanted to do psychiatry instead. But having gone to convent in those days, I didn't get to do science, so we checked it out, and my family doctor said, you can't do psychiatry, you have to be a doctor first, and you need science to be a doctor. So he went ahead and he did some poking around, and he found out that in Ireland, the medical school I eventually went to was trying out a pilot project. They wanted 10 people in their beginning class, pre-med class, who had top of the bell curve marks in humanities, language, and arts. And so my marks worked. They said I could come, but it meant I'd have to give up my fully paid scholarship to Oxford, and my father would have to pay for me to go. Well, now, given that my father's business had begun to take off, and he had been saving some money, not knowing if I would win a scholarship. He had been saving money to send me to get an education abroad. But he also decided now that I could go do medicine. He would have this money that he was saving for his house eventually when I won the scholarship, that it would be mine, and I would go and do medicine. And so I'm his house. And in many ways, that's the story of my life, which was full of serendipity in many ways, full of having the kinds of people who supported me, being in the right place at the right time, and I was lucky.
Now, being in the right place at the right time brings me to, how did you come to Canada?
Well, when I finished medicine in Ireland, we didn't want to go into the British healthcare system. I married an Englishman, and we would have stayed in Britain, but the healthcare system in Britain, the national health system, was actually imploding. It was becoming very bad, and the care was bad, and outcomes were very bad. So the United States began to encourage a lot of us who had studied in the UK to come and work in the US. And in the meantime, I was reading about some guy named Pierre Trudeau who was talking about a just society, and I thought, hey, I want to go there instead. And we came here, and that's how we came. And my husband wanted to do a specialty, and he wanted to do surgery, vascular surgery. So we went to British Columbia University, where he did that. And I had 3 kids, and I did family medicine. And then hoping to do psychiatry eventually, but I loved family medicine so much that I stayed, and that's it.
But I'm pretty sure you have kind of a psychiatrist feel to yourself where you can analyze people, which is why you probably got into politics.
Not really. I didn't get into politics because I wanted to. I got into politics because I was pushed or pulled, whichever way you want to look at it, by Jean Chrétien, who decided, at that time I had been president of the British Columbia Medical Association. I mean, I'm a joiner. When I was in high school, I joined things. I was always in some club or whatever doing things. And so I joined the BCMA, and then I became its president, and I negotiated for the doctors with the government of British Columbia. And I also had a show in CBC across the country called Doctor. So I guess he saw me, paid attention to me, and I was always mouthy, always on some program saying the way I saw the world, and he liked feisty women, so he came and asked me to run. And I said no, and he asked me twice, and I said no, and then the third time he said, okay, I'm asking you for the last time. If you run, you're an activist, you're always trying to change things. How about coming inside and making change from within rather than knocking on the door for people to pay attention to you? And I said, okay, and the rest is history.
So tonight, you're getting an award. What does that mean to you, not just as a politician, but as a mother?
Well, it means a lot to me in many ways as a mother. It means a great deal to me because I hope that my children will continue to strive for excellence because I'm a role model. I hope my grandchildren, I have a granddaughter now, I'm hoping she's going to be like me, doing things and getting out there and rolling up her sleeves and getting involved. So I'm hoping that would be it. But I'm also hoping that as a Caribbean woman, that Caribbean women in Canada would want to follow and emulate, because I'm surprised that more Caribbean women have not gotten involved in politics, because we're a political culture in the Caribbean, and Caribbean women have always been strong and proud and loud, and therefore I'm surprised that they didn't. But as a woman a little girl who came from San Fernando, whose parents did not have a high school education and who gave everything they had to get me to be where I am extremely proud and humbled.
Well, we're very proud of you as you sit in the House of Commons, as a Trinidadian, but still Canadian. And a lot of us are West Indian Canadians. I'm very proud of you for this award, and thank you so much for your time. It was an honor meeting you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.